Alright, you are with Eric at EHS Racing. I'm shooting a new video to help people understand all the options we're going to have for our new ECU reflash. Okay, so bear with me. I'm going to probably have a hard time explaining this because there's a lot going on with it, and I got to get y'all the data and the right stuff to use. I shot another video last night kind of explaining what an ECU flash is, a bunch of technical jargon. Hopefully it didn't come across as me being angry or anything. There's a bunch of data unpack in there. It's a long video. Watch that. This video is not that. This video is specifics of the parts that we're selling. Okay, the combination, so you can understand what you want to get. There's several ways to get this ECU reflash. My personal preference would be ECU reflash and a combination of a bullet box. But I'm going to explain a few things here. Y'all make your decision. Hopefully it clears up some things. The ECU is up here in the front. Okay, this is the ECU. So the ECU reflash, you got to unhook it from your machine. You physically send it to me. I'm going to load new parameters in there. I have maps that I have built for every scenario. Like if you want a stock bike, got it. Stock bike with a different clutch, got it. Stock bike airbox, got it. Slip-on, duals, and a combination of all that, I got it. I got maps for everything on those. So when you send it in, you tell me what you want. If you do not want an external tuner, I'm going to load a map in there specific for your scenario, send it back to you. You don't need a tuner. It's tuned for that. The problem with that, you don't have any adjustment. If you're at a different elevation, different going on, there's a lot of things that can be different. Watch that other video. I'll explain a bunch of things in there. You lose your adjustment. Okay, but I have maps that we have done for every scenario. So in combination with that, we then have our bullet box. We've been selling this before this Grizzly was available. Okay, I have maps that are going to work in combination with our old tuner and the new flash. Okay, so then the next kink in there, which this is confusing in some spots, but it's really not when you get your head around it. I have a new base map that I will load into the bullet box. Okay, so basically we have made new parameters for this that work with this. Okay, so now you can have all the gains from this and then retain adjustment through this. Okay, so people, there's bunches of y'all that have our tuner already and you want to upgrade. The tuner's not obsolete anymore. Like, you want that, but you got to send that into me at the same time. So unhook this, mail them to me, tell me what you got. I'm going to set it up for you. It's going to come back. It's going to be adjustable and awesome. Okay, the one thing is the maps that used to be in this. Okay, when I say maps, it's not just physical settings of the numbers. Okay, there's a lot of stuff going on inside here that we change. Okay, what was on there, it was way too big an adjustment, like, to be in combination. We're bringing the majority of the fuel in through the ECU. So what we did is we basically took our range of adjustment through the tuner, squished it way down. So then now, like, when you move at one point, you're fine tuning, you're not bulk tuning. Okay, so it allows you to fine tune it in. So I'll have some settings, like for some reason you don't want to send your tuner in, I'll have settings for that, but it's going to be all really low because most of the fuel is all coming in through the ECU. As it goes, like why this works, say I got a stock bike, I want an ECU map, sweet, we got you covered. Okay, next year I want a clutch, next year I want an exhaust. What you would have to do is then unhook your ECU again, send it back to me, pay me again, reload new parameters in there, and you're good. But that's kind of unnecessary. Like, the way to do that is do your upgrade map through this. Okay, the most of the fuel, all the ignition changes are getting done through this, and then the rest of the changes come through this, which then gives you an adjustment. Say you have a different elevation, you're a different clutch that I haven't covered, you have room to play with it to bring it in. Excuse me. What else? Let me show you the settings. You know, I've had a lot of videos on this, how to move the buttons, but watch, like there's 3 buttons. If you're not familiar with this, and I have to understand, like I'm familiar with this, but y'all aren't. Okay, this breaks the fuel map down into 3 zones. Okay, there's 3 quantity adjustment zones. There's 3 adjustment timing zones. Timing is not ignition timing, it's fuel timing. It's when those zones activate. Okay, so 3 buttons. Middle one is EHS logo, button, minus, plus. Okay, you cycle through the modes, subtract fuel, or a lower number, add fuel, higher number, in the modes. Okay, turn it on, it gets loud. I'm gonna rev this up. I do not physically have the AIS circuit blocked anymore, which was always a thing on these. I had a lot of popping on D-cell. We have corrected that through the base map. So you can still physically block the AIS, but I haven't done it yet, so you can all hear. Okay. So if you're not confused yet, bunch of options. Quick recap. If you don't want a tuner, I got you covered. We got a specific fuel map for it. If you want a specific setup with adjustment, we have that covered. You know, I have every scenario covered with this Grizzly. You just got to let me know what's going on and we'll get you set up right. Okay. So confusing on my side though, like there's going to be tuners floating around with 2 different inside parameters now, because I'm going to have one set of parameters that is related to ECU tune only. Those parameters will not work with a stock machine without ECU. There's just not enough range of adjustment. But on the other side, if you have the old parameters loaded in there, that's not going to work well with the ECU tune because it's pushing way too much fuel. So, you know, we need to match your tuner settings or the inside stuff that you cannot change physically with the ECU settings that I'm going to have here. It's not confusing. Just tell me what you got, send it all in. I'm going to send it back, say set it here, and you're going to be good. Hope it clears some things up. We'll see you.